I think another thing I wanted to touch about the election was Jagmeet Singh. Now, coming up to the election, like all everybody was talking about was the NDP leader. And he fell way short of what I consider a successful election for him. What do you think?
I mean, I'm a bit I think it's a bit complicated to really assess his leadership, because on the one hand, he wasn't in Parliament until pretty late. There was that by-election in BC where he won his seat that was sort of held at the last minute. So there were a lot of problems in caucus, and I think certainly some racially motivated dislike of him in certain segments that really made holding the party together difficult from the onset. Before the campaign was started, people were speculating that the NDP was going to be absolutely blown out, that they were going to have a 1990, what was that, 93 or 92, the one when the Chrétien Liberals swept in, I think it was 92, style, maybe it was 93 actually,
Anyway.
but that style of blowout where they lose party status. People were thinking the Green Party would surge ahead of them and win more seats and supplant them as the third party in Canada outside of Quebec. That didn't happen. He lost a lot of seats. A lot of them were in Quebec.
Yeah, like it seemed like all the momentum was on ENDP. Like it seemed like 20% was like the number that was they were gonna reach, as high as the polls are showing and stuff like that. But what do you think happened?
Well, didn't they get like 16% of the popular vote?
Yeah, but that's not 20%, dude.
Yeah,
that they were predicting.
Yeah, I think well, I guess a lot of people knew from the write-off that this was going to be a disaster for the NDP in Quebec.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like,
but
that all the momentum. I just don't understand what happened. When people got right to the ballot. Like, why didn't people pull the trigger and just vote NDP? I don't know. Maybe it's just I was just like, I don't know. I really don't know.
I think a lot of people liked a lot of people across Canada liked Jagmeet Singh. They thought he handled the leaders' debates and addressed the Trudeau brownface scandal very well. But I think a lot of it, like especially in Ontario, where they have an unpopular Conservative premier, I think that the Liberal campaign's calls to strategically vote, to vote against the Tories and do that by voting for the Liberals, I think that was just too much, especially in Ontario where the NDP was shut out of Toronto. I think Doug Ford as premier really gave some fuel to that strategic voting.
So you figure it was strategic voting that hurt the NDP?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's interesting because there was a poll that recently came out. So Jagmeet Singh
Like after the election, you're talking.
Yeah, after the election, Jagmeet Singh had pretty high popularity amongst younger people, and a post-election poll shows that people 18 to 34, out of these three age bands, which are 18 to 34, 35 to 54, and 55 plus, it shows that age demo, 18 to 34, had the highest percentage of voters who said they voted strategically. So that,
really?
Yeah, so young people, Jagmeet's base, a lot of them, well, not Jagmeet's only base, but a big portion of his base, a lot of them, 43%, voted strategically. That was more than the other age bands, according to this poll that was conducted or released on October 21st. So yeah, I think that blew the NDP out of the water, especially in seat-rich Ontario.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm on Team Singh.